Hello, hello! Welcome back to the stream. Kinda looks like I'm dropping frames a little bit, but hopefully that doesn't continue for the whole time, but it's stabilized. My laptop sometimes is a little iffy. But yeah, today we're gonna just be continuing to render your picture. When I switch over, you'll see I did kind of like some test colors to go off of. And yeah, we're just gonna start kind of coloring it now, which I'm very excited about it. So just give me one more second and we'll switch over and start drawing. Alright, so see you in a second here. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, let's get started now. Oof, my computer's really chugging today for some reason. I do not know why. But sometimes it just be like that. Hopefully it doesn't cause us too many issues. I'll just keep an eye on it, make sure it's not about to like shut down or something. Yeah. Yeah, basically, yeah, if it gets too much too bad, I'll just probably have to pause the stream to restart it or something, but sometimes mine just gets like that when I turn it on. But then as I just continue using it, it eventually calms itself down, so hopefully it'll be the same with this, with today. But yeah, I also, in addition, I'll soon show you the color kind of layout I did. Or here, I'll just pull it up or fix it so you can see it now. But I also have a story. And I'm very happy that I'm able to stream today because I was very worried because my program that I'm drawing this in gave me such a bad scare. Like literally minutes after I finished the last stream. So I will tell you about that after I choose some music here. So yeah, so here's the colors I kind of am working out. So this will kind of be my jumping off point. My rendering style is I'll basically just kind of paint on top of everything until it looks clean and how I'm liking it, but this will be kind of the starting colors. I thought it'd be cool to mostly play off of, you know, the kind of blues in your Sona's color scheme. But for some visual interest, I had a little bit of like greenish at the top and some like purple near the bottom that I can hopefully play off of a little. But overall, I have this nice like cool color scheme that I think will be nice to use. But as I get started, I will tell you about my my scare. So basically, after the stream last time, I closed my program, but then I was like, oh wait, I kind of wanted to send, you know, you the progress I got from today in case you wanted to like keep looking at it. But when I opened the program again, literally like seconds after I had just closed out of it, it suddenly was like all the text was in wingdings. I couldn't see, I couldn't read anything all of a sudden. And this error message was popping up, but the error message was also in wingdings. So I was like, what? Because I couldn't even like see anything or read anything just all of a sudden. So I was obviously pretty freaked out because I was just like, I just was using it and now all of a sudden it's not working at all. And, you know, I want to keep on the streaming schedule. I wanted to send you progress and all that. But I literally couldn't get into my program because I couldn't, it was just wingdings. I know, I was like, what? What do you mean? So and I tried, you know, first step Google to see if anybody else has dealt with that. Google, nothing was coming up. 0 people had ever, I guess, gotten wingdings all over their program. So I was like, okay. So in my desperation, I went to Reddit, where I never go, but I literally went on Reddit, and I went to the community for my program, and I was just like, has anyone had this absurd issue? And luckily, there is someone who said, well, it looks like it's trying to translate everything to Japanese. So I was like, okay. So I put my computer in Japanese mode, and yeah, lo and behold, it was just all in Japanese. And I was able to translate it from there. And it had, for some reason, I still to this day, I don't know why it did this. It reverted my program to the trial version. It just, like, pretended that I never bought the program. And for some reason went back to the literal trial version of the program. Which is very weird and has never happened to me ever. So luckily all I had to do though was just re-download it and put in my license again. But I was a bit scared. I was like, oh no, am I not gonna be able to stream for a minute until I figure this out? But luckily I figured it out. But if at some point in the stream I have to stop to readjust my brushes and stuff, it's because it deleted all that, so I have to remake all my custom brushes and stuff. But at least it works. Yeah, it was pretty crazy, and I was pretty I was a little stressed out about it, but yeah, I was really happy that at least somebody could finally kind of help me out there. Because I was like, come on, man, because I was really excited about this piece too, so I was just like, why does that have to happen right when I'm working on one that I'm really excited to work on too? Yeah, the problem that always comes when stuff like that happens suddenly is just I don't have a picture to take. I don't have a moment to take a picture of my old brushes or anything. So I have to kind of guess and alter them accordingly. Oh yeah. Yeah, that sucks too. I wish that programs didn't do that. It's weird. But I'm back. But I'm glad you like the color palette I decided on, though. It's always a little hard for me to come up with an initial jumping off point, but for this one I was thinking well, like I was saying, I wanted to play off the colors of your Sona mainly, but I also was thinking that the palette kind of fits the vibes of other music you've done. I don't know how to describe why or how, but I just feel like the color scheme is it kind of meshes, I guess, with some of the color schemes you've used in your other stuff. So that was kind of my thought process. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, usually with this program it's pretty good about stuff like that too, but I don't know, I had it was a weird kind of thing that happened where it completely deleted itself, is what I found. Because when I realized that it reverted me to the trial system, I looked to find, because I was like, oh, okay, so I had my license and I was going to go put it in the folder, because that's how you activate the license. But the folder for the program under program files was gone. It was just completely gone. So I don't know what I did or what happened, but it deleted itself off my program, I guess within the 2 seconds from me streaming and then me wanting to reopen the program. Oh, that's perfectly fine. As I said, I just completely appreciate you even stopping by, so it's no problem. Like adventure music, so nice. I miss when all the Sonic characters used to have their little themes. They should keep doing that. Yeah, technology. When I decided that I wanted to be a digital artist, I also, you know, signed myself to a life of technical difficulties and things like that. Yeah, like frustrating. Like this brush just isn't quite right, but I don't remember my original settings for it. It's alright. I'll eventually get it back to what it was by using it. Right. Exactly. Like I like digital art just well, number one, it's kind of a money saver in a way because I just had to purchase this program like a one-time purchase, and whenever I want to make art I can just kind of do it. I don't have to go and buy like supplies every time, like a canvas and paint and everything like that. And I do like doing traditional art sometimes, but I feel like digital art's way more convenient in that way, where every time I want to make art I don't have to go and get all the supplies for it over and over again. And of course, the ability to do layers and Control Z is very nice. So all in all, it's worth it. And honestly, in my time of doing digital art, I haven't had like a ton of technical problems. They've been very small, and most of them have always been related to my own mistakes. So I just realize what I did and then I fix it for the next time, and I don't have the issue anymore. Yes, I live by Control Z. Yeah, like I think about it. I think about it a lot just because when I have to buy traditional, I've had to do a lot more traditional art for like art school, and it can really add up. I remember for my painting classes, those have been the most expensive like out of pocket classes ever. Um, because even just like buying the colors of paint that they want can cost like over $100 just the paint, and then I also have to buy like canvases and brushes throughout the semester too, and it's like, man. So I could imagine like at this point in time spending that regularly to do my arts, and digital painting works fine for me. Yeah, it's definitely that's the one thing I won't miss about art school is the supply lists, because some of them were pretty brutal, like just like expecting so much. But luckily, I think at this point I'm pretty much done with the classes that will have those the more demanding supply lists, so that's good. Oh yeah, yeah. High school and middle school had it bad too. Every year, you had to get like all this stuff. Yeah, that's one part that is very nice. For my non-art classes, I pretty much a lot of my stuff I've been able to kind of reuse throughout all my years so far. Sometimes I just have to get like the little bit of stuff that I ran out of, but I don't have too much to get, so that's always nice. I really wish my program didn't like reset so soon. It's really tough, like how there's just something that feels off about this brush, but I just don't know. I have no idea what it is or how to like fix it. Oh yeah, yeah. That's the trade-off, that some textbooks in college are really expensive. Yeah, crazy prices on those books. But I'm glad to hear that you haven't gotten like too many of those super expensive books. Me neither. Well, yeah, no, with my major, a lot of it's just the supply lists. We don't really have books always. But yeah, the classes I have had books for, I've had a couple of my marketing classes where the book was so expensive. I was just like, why? And the worst part was like it was hard to get like an alternative. Like for a lot of my textbooks, if it was one that was really expensive on the school website, I would try to go to like Amazon and check and see if there's a less less high price. But a lot of my marketing books had like this online connection thing where we had to do like the homework on the online section. So you like couldn't find a cheaper version because a lot of the price was coming from the really expensive was coming from the online feature that we needed for the class. So it was so annoying. And it's always worse when it's like it's something you're never gonna look at again either. It's just like this really expensive book that's now just gonna be sitting there with you forever. Oh no, yeah. Yeah, any sort of resetting of like what you've customly done is so difficult, especially when you've been using it for a while, so you're already really used to that old setup, and then it's like, come on. And it's confusing too, because it's like you're used to the old setup, but you don't always remember your old setup when you have to like build it up again. It's like, why? I used to have like pictures of all my brushes, but I don't remember where those pictures are now. Yeah, like I just kind of I started figuring that out just because some of these books I was like, I am not paying that price tag for a class I only need for a requirement. Like I'm not interested in this content at all. I don't want to pay like $1 billion for it. I just literally need it for the credit. The react button, but let me see. I don't actually know what that is. Is it the one with the little smiley face? Is that what you're talking about? Or is there a different one? Yeah, try it, see what happens. Because I don't know what the react. I'm still learning what all the buttons are called. React. The only thing I can think of is the little faces, but I don't know what the react button is. Yeah, like I don't know. I have to look next time I'm like watching someone else's stream what that button is, because I don't think I have it on my like creator database, so I can't see. Well, whatever it did. Thanks for testing. Yeah, Twitch has like so many features that I feel like I'm like, just from me starting streaming, I'm like realizing like how much there really is to like all the different things that are available on Twitch. Because even like now, like because I'm not affiliate yet, there's so many other features that are like gonna be accessible whenever I hit that milestone too, that I'll then have to learn how to use, like channel points and channel point like redeems and stuff like that. So they've done a lot, quite a lot. Oh yeah, good idea. Google. When in doubt, Google. React button. I don't know why. Like it's, I've probably seen it because the word, it sounds familiar in terms of like Twitch. Like I feel like I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what you're. Oh, okay. This is cool. I'm just trying to think. What is freaking React button? Wait, 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can see it on someone else's stream. I'm sure I've seen it. I'm just so curious. Oh, I see, I see. Okay. React. I see it now. I have actually never used that button. I actually don't know. I don't know either. see it. I see it. I found it. But I'm sorry, I've never clicked that button, and I've definitely seen it there, but I don't think I've ever used it before. That's so funny that there's just a button there that's always been there, but I've never actually had to use it or used it at all. Right. I'm on Twitch like a lot, but I don't know why I've just never I never really thought about that much. I guess because it's kind of like off to the side, it's kind of just over by the follow button, so. Because I know the little heart button next to it is the follow button, but I don't know what the react button is for necessarily. Very interesting. But I really can't wait till I get all the requirements for affiliate, because I have so many ideas for like channel alerts and emotes and stuff like that. But a lot of that I can't really play with until I get that. But when I do, I'll be unstoppable. I've already met like some of the requirements for it. Like two of the requirements are streaming on 7 different days, and then streaming for at least 8 hours. And I've hit both of those, of course, just from like having the routine of streaming. But the ones that I need are just the viewership ones, but that'll come with time. But I'm quite proud of myself because I've already kind of hit my record for how like keeping up with streaming. Because every other time I've tried to do this, I always like would fall off very quickly. So I'm proud of myself because I've already hit a record for how long I've kept it up. I plan to just keep going. Even through like my classes, I want to try to keep up with it. I just will probably have to rearrange the schedule just a little bit because, you know, I'll have classes. I won't, like, my schedule during the summer is not going to be the same. Like, the days I'm free aren't going to be the same as during school, obviously, so I'll have to, like, change it. But I want to keep going. For sure. Especially because, honestly, I'm having a lot of fun doing this. Yeah, requirements for stuff like that on YouTube and SoundCloud also take time too, but you'd be eligible for SoundCloud verification soon. One requirement's vague, so I might have all of them by now. Oh, awesome! That's so exciting! What does SoundCloud verification like allow you to do? Versus like the base SoundCloud membership, like what does verification allow you? That's awesome that you're almost there. Yeah, I feel like, of course, it makes sense, but the viewership requirement is always kind of the hardest one to meet on all those websites, because, you know, building an audience is probably just the part that takes the longest. Thank you. And oh, hey, it's a check mark, but it signals to people that you're verified. So I get it. I get wanting it still. Oh, that's good. Do you monetize your stuff already, or have you not done that yet? Because there's multiple streams of income. Those will be nice. That could be nice. Oh, right, gotcha. That makes sense. So don't get copyright problems. But that's cool, though, that you're monetizing some of your stuff. Yeah, eventually I would love to post more consistently on YouTube too. Because right now I'm just uploading my VODs, but I think if I find a way to figure out to make some other stuff, then I could probably monetize that as well. Because with me trying to turn my art into a career, the biggest thing I've just learned from my research and everything is just multiple streams of income is the way to do it. So that's my goal. Just with my free time is to set up those multiple streams. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So they don't lose that Creative Commons license. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's really good. Especially since I know a lot of places do take like a cut, like Twitch. So that's really nice. That shows that they really care about their creators. Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, that's the way to go. And that way too, you're not like reliant on one like form of income as well. Which that's honestly the thing I see a lot of people, like some of the people I follow on social media, like fall prey to is like they will be in a tough situation if the one means of income they have is failing. Like if they're only taking commissions and they're going through a dry period where not a lot of people are buying them, they're suddenly in trouble. And that's the position I know I don't want to. I want to try not to be in that position. I want to have the multiple streams of income be set up enough where if one of them is in a dry spell, I'm not like suddenly broke. I want to have these other areas to kind of piggyback off of. I'm also honestly, I'm not afraid to have like a part-time job still while I'm setting up, like after I graduate. Like I'm not afraid to still have my part-time job. Like I know some people, they try to just jump right off right away, but I feel like I will be careful about that and I'll wait till I can certainly say that my art is carrying me before I like quit it or anything like that. So that way I still have a certain form of income still. song is jazzy. I don't remember where it's from. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that's a good idea. And it's smart of you, I think, to already be taking in mind, like, to make sure you don't get burnt out. Because I feel like if you think about that early on, then you won't find yourself stuck in a situation where you are burnt out. And then think about it, you know? Because I think about that too, like, when I was, planning what I wanted to do and everything like that. I would think to myself, like, okay, so what are things that I could see myself being interested in? What is things I could see myself being interested in and like do as work, for the rest of my life? Because I have a lot of things that I like to do, but not a lot of those things are things I could see myself doing every day, you know, without getting burnt out. So I just feel like it's important to think about that, but I don't feel like enough people think about that. But when you do, I feel like it will keep you from getting too burnt out because you already considered like what you can handle in that way. Because it can be tough to figure out for sure. Well, that's good, yeah. I can definitely see how that would kind of help you to think about that too. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people forget that because I feel like, it's obviously something that you have to focus on, but I feel like most people, unfortunately, focus a lot more on the money part than on the actual, like, can I do this as a career part when they're both, like, important? Because it's like, you could be making a lot of money, but are you going to be able to, like, sustain that job mentally and not feel like terrible every time you come home? So you can't even use, like, your money that you've built up, like, you have to kind of have to think about that. Knuckles' rap songs. He should have these again too. I think it's just so funny. Is emotional intelligence basically being able to experience all your emotions and let them pass? So trying too hard to stay productive and happy. Yeah. Yeah, that's like cool concept. I've never heard it like explained that way, but yeah, definitely. That's something I've been kind of realizing. Like, I didn't know there was a term for it, but that's something I've definitely been realizing too. Like that's how emotions work. They're not made to like stay completely, but life's more about learning how to manage all the different emotions rather than keep one always present. So, yeah, that's a really good concept that I think a lot of people should learn in their adulthood, especially because like growing up, when you become an adult, life can have so many ups and downs. You have to learn just how to get yourself through those ups and downs rather than try to make the downs never happen, because they will happen. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I'm really into the lighting too. I've always liked working on pieces that have like one like strong light source. Like I said last time, like I think it just gives it a really nice like dramatic feeling. Yeah, it really is. It's just a super interesting. My favorite, like when I practice like lighting and things like that, my favorite studies to do is of pictures that just have a really dramatic lighting. I think it helps too because one like shading like lesson that I get a lot, that I've gotten in like classes and stuff. It's like when you're making shadows, you want to think of them as like building the shape of whatever you're drawing. So you shouldn't think them as like all separate parts, as like one whole part. And I feel like you can really see that kind of concept of a whole part with dramatic lighting than you can with more. It's hard. It's a lot harder to see with more subtle lighting. But it just makes it really kind of satisfying to render. How you position those little like fractions. Oh, I didn't even see these. I gotta make sure I add those real quick. I don't forget about them. Little indications I remember to render them in fully when I get to that. I think I'm glad you like that. I kind of like how I like adding like little geometric shapes, so that's why I kind of just naturally made them little triangles. Yeah, I don't know how I missed the arm scales, but I'll be sure to, will not forget them. I'll be sure to make sure I add them in properly. I think it's all just because the last time I drew your son, I just drew the head, so I didn't really get a good look at the body before. Yeah. And try to add some like fur texturing. In here. My dog just bursted in my room. One second. Yeah, he just came in randomly. He's just chilling for now. When he gets tired of being in here, he'll let me know and I'll let him out. But he's just chilling. Sometimes he does that. Like, he'll do it at like weird hours of the day. Like, his favorite time is like early in the morning. Like, literally like 5 a.m. I'll get woken up because he just decides, okay, I'm going to come in your room now. He's a funny little doggy. Funny little guy. Also, sorry in advance if I get a bit quiet at times. This, like, part of the process, the rendering, it takes the most focus. Oh, nice! I'm glad to hear that also my dog is like doing something. I'm glad to hear that my art gave you an inspiration. That's awesome. Alright, one second, my dog wants to leave now. Okay, I'm back. But yeah, that's awesome that it gave you some inspiration. That's so cool. And Sonic Unleashed sincerely has the best, in my opinion, the best like music of any Sonic game. I just like how varied it was, because the theme of Sonic Unleashed was like world. Well, its Japanese title was actually Sonic World Adventure, because the whole theme of it was that you're kind of going around the world, different countries. That's where all the levels and stuff would like take place. And because of that, like you get all these really varied tracks. It's really quite a cool soundtrack to listen to. Oh, yeah, that would be really cool. Yeah, that's a really nice idea. Yeah, that would be awesome. I like that idea too. That makes him seem kind of like, adds kind of like that cyberness into his design too. That he's a little bit part computer or robot, you know? These look like they're popping out a bit. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I think that'd be a good way to play into it for sure. Oh, that's so cool. That's not, don't worry, that's not nerdy. That's really cool, and I think that's a good way of also tying him to like the music and everything. Rendering is my favorite part of the process, though, probably. Even though it can definitely take a while. Because it's the most, like, satisfying part. Like, seeing everything go from, you know, messy and sketchy to refined and cleaned up is a nice part. But yeah, like I just really honestly I dig like Sonic music. Like what I'm listening to right now is just a big Sonic music compilation. The song that's currently playing is called Deep Woods from Sonic and the Black Knight. I really do like particularly yeah, the drums in a lot of Sonic music have a very cool like thing going on usually. It definitely is one of those things that I really like, and if I ever made music, I feel like a lot of it would be inspired by the soundtracks of Sonic. And yeah, rewarding is definitely like the word. Because you get to see it all cleaned up. Your idea can really like kind of take form during that part. But it just takes so long. Which, right now, like doing stuff like this, like during summer, isn't a big deal, but I always feel it a bit more during school, because when I'm trying to render for a deadline, it's like, I gotta go faster. But I can't go faster. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I'll definitely let you know. I purchased yesterday. There's this like online like course thing site called Udemy. U and then DEMY, and they were having like a crazy sale on their courses that usually cost like hundreds of dollars. Were like literally dropping down to like $20 and $14. So I actually purchased like a course on like starting music, like digital like music production. So as I go through the course, I will definitely ask you if I have any questions, and the course isn't helping. And yeah, deadlines. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is one thing about deadlines. Like it makes me finish a lot more than I do when I'm off deadlines. I feel like, so that's nice. That I actually my output rate is pretty fast, is much faster because I am having to hit all the deadlines. And that is true. Like you have to kind of decide a lot quicker. You can't just keep going back and forth because it's due. Yeah, I've just been interested in like learning music for a while. I used to play like instruments, but I've always been really interested in like video game music in particular. So it's made me really want to experiment with like instrumental music. So this course will hopefully be my first kind of step in like learning a little bit. And eventually I do want to save up for FL Studio. For the course, I'm kind of tag teaming between the free trial of FL Studio, which I know you can't save like and reopen documents, but that's fine because I'm just kind of playing around. But for like when I actually start doing songs, I'm gonna try to use LMMS because that one's free. But yeah, eventually my goal is to save it for FL Studio because I do like the layout of that one best. Yes, soon my music will emerge. Because I imagine songs all the time, but I reached a point where I was just like, it's so hard to think of the songs, but I can't like make them. So I'm hoping I can actually taking the time and learning music theory and everything will help me actually be able to make the things I hear in my head. Because it's just like with art, like I had to start at the basics, so as much as I want to, I can't skip the basics. But no, I've been having fun so far, so I'm just gonna keep going with the fun. Okay, yes, I'll make sure I pay close attention to the scales at least. Yeah, that intimidating is definitely the word. Like whenever I try to learn it on my own, it's just so much. So that's why I need some sort of like instruction or class format, I think, to really engrave it in my brain. Yeah, I agree. Like from the time I've spent on FL Studio, it seems just very like once you know what every button does, it's pretty straightforward compared to some of the other ones, and I like that. Oh yeah, yeah, I'll keep that in mind because I definitely noticed that even with like art stuff, like I know quite a bit about art, and sometimes when I look at like art tutorials, yeah, people will do that. They'll like complicate something, and you're just like, it's actually like, why are they telling people all this? It's just this. So I'll keep that in mind as I listen. So far, though, the instructor seems like she's because the course was advertised for like complete beginners to music at all, so she's taking it very slow and not like making too many like intense like leaps that are confusing right now. So hopefully it keeps that way throughout the course. Okay. Yes, I'll keep that in mind. Because this weekend I hope to start because I've been doing the like since I bought it, I've been doing the introductory lessons, but the next lesson that's coming up that I haven't had a chance to do is like putting stuff together and making your own song, your first like song, and that's where she said she's really gonna go into detail with about all the tools and certain music theory concepts. So I'm really excited to do that lesson because I feel like I'm just excited to get started. Get started. Yeah, yeah. I just think I'm ready for it. Because the main reason I've really been trying to delve into it is because, I, thinking like art is something I'm making into a career, so I'll definitely need something that I can still call a hobby. So I've been looking at other creative like outlets that I can use as a hobby for when art becomes less of a hobby. Because I know that when I am doing art a lot more often, like commissions, whatever. I might not feel like drawing in my free time, but I'm one of those people where I just like to be creating things pretty much all the time. So I know if I don't replace that desire to create like art with something else, I won't feel creatively, like emotionally fulfilled in life. So I've been trying to get other hobbies going. And I genuinely think music could be one for me. Making random little songs. There's this person I follow. I think his last name's like Panman, but he makes like a lot of really cool royalty-free video game music that you can like buy from him. And I think that would be really cool to just like make like royalty-free tracks that people can use for their games or whatever. Yeah, yeah, I can totally see that too. Because art can be like that too. But since I uh treat it less like a hobby, it's a lot harder for me to express like emotions through my art, like my own personal emotions. But I feel like music could definitely be that as well, just because it'll be like a hobby again, so I won't be putting all that and such intense like pressure on myself about it. So it'll be a nice like release when I need it. Yeah, nice. So we flip flopped. But yeah, I think I just think it's a good idea to try to line up hobbies so that you have another outlet to be, creative, especially if you're a creative person. I feel like you need something else to make sure you still have that way to be creative without the pressure. Man, I want a fursuit too. I don't know. I've come to terms with it finally. I just have a really bad heat tolerance. So I don't know if I could ever full suit, but I definitely would love to get like a partial one day. I really want to try making one, like making a head again, because I actually made one when I was really young. Because I was into it like when I was younger a lot, and I made a head, but it was kind of like, it was made by me when I was like little. So I was a little kid, and I tried to make another one now that I've kind of gotten older and improved my artistic skills. Oh yeah, that's yeah, that's really awesome that cross country helped you. Yeah, I definitely think like heat tolerance is something that could be trained. So if I ever really wanted to full suit, I could probably just start training myself to withstand higher heat. But honestly, I would be satisfied. I would also just be satisfied, honestly, with a partial. A lot of suit makers are getting like really like creative and good with like making like I follow a few makers, and sometimes when I'm scrolling, I'm just like, wow, like it's come such a long way. And it's really awesome they're making now, what people are making now, and how innovative I guess they're getting with like fursuit creation. Oh yeah, I love Beauty in the Base. Beauty of the Base. Yeah, that fursuit was definitely one of my favorites for a really long time. I remember just like binge watching their videos like over and over again. They definitely have such a really cool creation style. And yeah, that's true. I've thought about that too, honestly, like just building a suit that is made to keep me cool. Yeah, I would love to make a Brie Bear like fursuit. I think if I made one, I probably would start with this little character, especially since right now they're kind of serving as my little persona. But I definitely thought about just like, you know, maybe my fursuit isn't all fur, maybe it's like fabric in most places and things like that. Little things to make it like cooler for me. I could also, you know, work out getting an AC unit or a fan to put inside to help as well. Stuff like that. Oh yeah, I've definitely heard ventilation is a good way to make sure you don't overheat too bad as well. So I definitely would keep that in mind and not make one that's too unventilated. Cause like a style fursuit I really do like is like the little like cutesy kimono fursuits. They're from like it's a style made in Japan. But those suits I've heard are so badly like usually not ventilated super well because unlike a you know typical Western fursuits, they don't have an open mouth like most like Western style fursuits. You see like the mouth, it can lead to the person's actual mouth. But kimono fursuits, because of the stylized nature, like the mouth is usually just carved in instead of open, so that already causes problems. Plus, a lot of the kimono fursuits also put, you know, plastic domes over the eyes to give it that shiny look, but that also covers the eye ventilation. So yeah, no, they're like melting pots. But if I can somehow get that look, but with the same ventilation, that would be, I feel like, my goal. But yeah, it's definitely a project I want to do. But yes, for now, I think I should take a break. I always forget to do that, to take a break. But I'm going to probably take a quick break. Once again, like last time, only about 6 minutes ish. Let me get that up. Let me put on some music. I won't go away. I know. Yeah, taking breaks is always my. I don't know why. I feel like I just get in a flow. I don't think about it. Yep, that's perfectly fine. Thank you again for coming at all. Been fun chatting. All right, so I'll be back. I'll be back in about 6 minutes. See you. Okay. I'm back. Let's keep on going then.
There's nothing more powerful than you.
Hello, hello. I like how this is turning out. I like to flip back and forth from the original sketch layer to see how much it's changed. Yeah, as far as music goes, hopefully by next stream I can have time to set up the audio separation feature. So that hopefully I don't have to rely on just video game music anymore. I'm glad you like it too, yeah. And yeah, I just think it, to have the maximum vibes that I want on my stream, I want to be able to play whatever music I would like. later today, I'm going to go finally see the new Spider-Man movie, and I'm quite excited because I did enjoy the first one. I'm not a big like superhero fan in general, but the Spider-Verse movies are just like, from an artistic perspective, they're so cool and so like innovative. The methods and the stylization in the Spider-Verse movies are just like unmatched. Like, and they really did spark like a whole revolution. Because a lot of the newer animated movies I've seen seem to be kind of taking inspiration from the like 2D 3D mixing that Spider-Verse does. It seems like they started a whole trend. There's a lot of anime movies nowadays seem to be using that, which I don't mind because it's pretty cool when done correctly. Oh yeah. Yeah, don't worry. I also get behind on movies really quickly. I know, like, when I came out of school, there are so many movies like that I just could never got a chance to see. Because I just forget about them. But Spider-Verse is one that I've been, like, looking forward to for a minute. Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't really, like, have much, like, interest in a lot of different Marvel movies. But this one, just for its unique, like, the way it looks alone, I just want to see it, just to see what it looks like. Plus, even though, like, I don't really look at superhero movies that much, I find Miles' personality, the main character, very interesting. If I had to choose one, like, superhero to be, like, interested in, it would be Spider-Man, just because I find the concept of, like, a superhero who's still in school and, like, having to find that balance between saving the world but also, like, doing, like, regular stuff, like going to classes and stuff, interesting. Yeah, I just feel like that sort of having that personality of that, like, they have these imperfections because they're a kid or because they're young. It adds interest, because a lot of my problems with a lot of superheroes is that they're boring just because they're like Mr. or Mrs. like perfect. Like, they're just perfect in every way. And they can do no wrong, but when you have a younger superhero, they make mistakes a lot more often because they're young. And I feel like that makes them immediately more interesting. And even like the other Spider-Man, like Peter Parker, has that kind of imperfectness that I like. So, but I really like the animated Spider-Verse movies. Yeah, I agree. I follow a lot of like artists on Twitter, and sometimes when new movies come out, people end up like people retweet. I find like people who worked on the various films and stuff that come out. And recently, I saw someone tweet like that they were working on Spider Verse, but the production was just so complex that they had to like leave because they couldn't continue working on it because it was just so hard. And I can totally see how it would be difficult, just all the new kind of stuff they're doing that hasn't been done before. I can imagine how that could be kind of hard to learn and pick up on. Yeah, like when I read it, I was just like, dang, it's that bad. But like when I think about it, yeah, I could definitely see how it could get really difficult really fast. Because even just the basic of the aesthetic of the movie with the 3D and 2D like meshing is a lot more complex than it might seem to do. To put like to mix like 2D animation with 3D animation that's already a tall order just alone. So add that onto all the complex shots of like them swinging around and fighting and everything. Like, yeah, that could definitely get really hard. I'm sure as an animator, especially. I learned very quickly that I don't know if I could be an animator because as a kid, that was actually my career path of choice. Like I was just like I want to be an animator, and I like wanted to learn animation, and I started learning animation, but I quickly realized like I don't have the patience or the mental capacity for animation as a career. Like I don't think I'd mind exploring animation like in my free time maybe, but no, I could not like animate every day. Because I like drawing one picture, and only be able to focus on one picture. When you animate, you gotta draw like hundreds of pictures, thousands of pictures, maybe. Yeah, it's so complex, but it's just really cool of a medium. So I'm still really into the medium. I just realized I I could not do it myself regularly. Yeah, pain indeed. I don't know how people who are animators do it. Some of my friends at like art university are animation majors, and I just tell them I'm like I don't know how you do it, but good job. But I genuinely would like to dabble in uh, animation a little bit, especially like my own characters. I think it'd be cool to make little like animated shorts of their story and things like that. But no, never as a career. The saxophone in this song is nice. Okay, well, thank you so much for stopping by, of course. And I hope your piano lesson goes good. See you. I really do enjoy all of the like character designs in Spider-Verse. I saw a thread where they were talking about, where one of the modelers on the movie was talking about how they would have to like kind of touch up the base models for the look that they're going for. The base models would often have like a very round edge, but in Spider-Verse, one of the trademarks is that kind of like paper cutout look-ish to their edges, so that they would have to like manually fix them up so that they had those edges, and I think that alone sounds crazy. So I definitely think all the animators who were on that movie give themselves a big pat on the back, because it sounds like it was quite challenging movie to produce, to be honest. But I haven't heard like a single bad review about Spider-Verse, so I'm very happy about that, because I remember, well, I just feel like I always get like sequel jitters, especially when the first one of a movie is really good. And with a movie like Spider-Verse, I feel like it's a feat to be able to capture that kind of same energy and excitement of the second one, but of the first one in the second one. What I've heard, they've done it, so that's exciting. I enjoy rendering characters with a simple base palette, because it gives a lot of room for creative solutions. Like his character here. In the ref, it's actually complete black there. So I have a lot of room to kind of play with different colors to add into where the character is technically black. And I like being able to play. I like how this is turning out. The color palette, in my opinion, ended up being very Y2K. A little bit. I don't know how to describe how. I think it's just like that kind of bluish green purpleness. I used to see a lot. I like to start with making a color guide. That's what I like to call it, just kind of like a loose layout of the colors I'll pick from, because when I render, I end up adding colors. But I find that if I have an area to like something to start with, it helps me keep a more cohesive palette, because honestly when I render, I try my best to continue color picking from the color guide as much as possible and add colors like just a little bit. So doing that makes for a more cohesive color palette. Good news too is that I think I've gotten that brush back to an area that is about the same as it was. Ooh, I like this like remix. Jumping around like crazy. When I render, I end up just doing that. Especially at the beginning when there's so much to do. Can't decide where to stay. Yeah, like video game music, but lately I've really been into like Lemon Demon stuff that's not video game music. Yeah, hopefully by next stream I've kind of figured out. And to separate desktop audio from my VODs, so I can just play some songs I really enjoy. Oh, this song's good. Take a look at what it looks like on the actual stream. This is darker. My laptop screen just brightens everything up so much compared to what it actually is. I really like adding dimension to the belly scales. So I don't forget to add these in. Add all the little freckles. Alright, so I feel like I always do a bit of a shorter stream on Fridays, so sorry about that, but I think I will have to stop for today. But thank you everyone for coming. This is my progress so far. Here, let me position it where it could be better seen. Next stream we will most likely still be working on this. Maybe my stream layout will be even more updated. I've been just trying to update it when I can, to make it as good as it can be. But thank you all for coming. Here, let me put on my ending screen. Yep, thank you all for coming. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend and a great Friday. Bye!